Okay, good morning, everybody. Are you all there? So can I start the class? I'm starting a half an hour early. Let me see how many of you are awake. Are you able to hear my voice? Is my audio all right? So please say yes. Today I've fixed my chat. My chat is working fine. So please type away and let me know if you can hear my voice. Yes, Aditi, you're able to hear. Dinesh, Kiranmai, all right, Lakshmi Priya, okay, Bhagirath Reddy, all right, Lenovo Tab 3, whoever that is. Okay, so good, you're able to hear. The second thing is that I have mentioned today that the last time we met, I said we're going to start the one-word substitutes today, and that is what we're going to do. But before that, I hope you've all got news yesterday that the BITSAT exam, there is a notification from the BITSAT authorities that the BITSAT exam will be conducted after May 24th. So they have not specified the date, but it is going to be after May 24th. I hope you've got that. Also, the last date for application of BITSAT has been extended up to 26th of April. So if some of your friends have not applied, I think you should tell them to apply. This is a fantastic opportunity for people who have not thought of BITSAT to apply for BITSAT, because there are very few students who would be preparing in as focused a manner as we are doing, including English and logical reasoning. So anybody who starts preparation even now would stand a good chance. We've got 2 months, and I think you can do a good job as far as BITSAT is concerned. So if there are any friends out there, you can ask them to apply for BITSAT if they've not applied. So let's get on with one-word substitutes today. Now, one-word substitutes is another way of testing your vocabulary. But fortunately for us, based on the experience with past tests, past editions of BITSAT, and the way the entrance test English, we know certain commonly used one-word substitutes, and that is what we're going to do. So in today's class, what you need to do is keep a pencil and a paper with you, a pen and a paper with you, so that you note down the words that we are going to discuss. We're going to discuss something close to about 100 words, and all of them, believe me, are important words, and who knows, one or two of them may appear in your BITSAT exam. So keep a pen and a paper ready with you, and whenever you come across a particular question, a particular word which is unfamiliar to you, you please note down. So what is the format of the particular question type? Here you have, the question has several possible answers. Pick up the correct answer and fill in the blanks. The size of earthquakes is known as what? All right. So we all know it is seismology. Okay. Let's go ahead and discuss certain things today. I've already shared the notes with whoever has asked me. Some students who have asked me, but I hope those who don't have, at least concentrate on whatever I am publishing today on the screen. So let's start off with our first word. Our first word is Panacea. Let's look at this. Panacea. Panacea is a cure for all diseases. Panacea is a cure for all diseases. So, like for example, Baba Ramdev, I'm sure you've heard of Baba Ramdev. He says yoga, Panacea for all diseases. For all, he suggests, for him, yoga is a panacea because it cures all diseases according to him. Okay, then when we're talking about panacea, we also need to talk about placebo. Now let me tell you what a placebo is. This is placebo. 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 Now, what's a placebo? A placebo is something which does not have. This is B, by the way. This is B. Okay. Pardon my writing. Placebo. Placebo has no therapeutic value. That means there is no medicine in it. It's a neutral pill. Why do you give that? If people have imaginary illnesses, or people feel that, you know, they are suffering from something and they need some pills. So what doctors will do is prescribe a placebo. That means it doesn't have any effect. It just gives some mental satisfaction. So placebo is another kind of a medicine which has no therapeutic value. It is inert, but it is given to give mental satisfaction. And it is commonly used for people who are known as hypochondriacs. Hypochondriac. Would you know what this is? Could somebody tell me what who a hypochondriac is? Hypochondriac. Hypochondriac. Can somebody write who a hypochondriac is? Please use your chat. Let me find out if anybody knows who a hypochondriac is. Who is a hypochondriac? Anybody? Highly anxious. Kaushik says highly anxious person. Okay, let me see. Any other? Any other? Lakshmi Priya says, yes, someone who has some disease. That's right, Lakshmi Priya. Lakshmi Priya is right. Because hypochondriac is a person who feels he's got some disease. Imaginary illnesses. All right. So we come across several people. Yeah, health anxiety. Srinivas Reddy says health anxiety. So there are people you will find even in your families, people who are often bothered about their health. So a placebo is given to such kind of people to give them some kind of a mental satisfaction. Okay, let's go on to the next thing, which is in great discussion nowadays. And what is that? And that is an epidemic. Okay, I don't have to tell you what an epidemic is. We are all going through an epidemic. We are experiencing an epidemic today, a disease affecting many persons at the same time. All right, that is an epidemic. But we are not just talking about an epidemic. What we are talking about now is a pandemic. Pandemic. What's a pandemic? Pandemic is an epidemic with a P. That P stands for a passport, according to me. You have a passport to go across countries and across continents. So pandemic is an epidemic with a passport to go across several countries and not just be limited to a particular region. When we talk about epidemic, when we talk about pandemic, we also need to talk about endemic. 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 Could somebody tell me what an endemic is? Or what is endemic? Can somebody tell me what is endemic? Okay. We've discussed epidemic. We have discussed a pandemic. Okay. What is endemic? What is endemic? Anybody can tell me what an endemic is? What is endemic? Endemic is actually something which has got a constant presence in a specific location. Yes, somebody has got it. Lakshmi Priya has got it. A disease which is in a particular place in a small area for a longer time, not for a short period of time, longer time. Just to give you an example, malaria is endemic to several parts of India. All right. Malaria is endemic to several parts of India. All right. So why do we say that? Because it is something which is prevalent for a long time in certain parts of the country. Now this page has become very ugly. Let me see if I can erase it. Let me just erase this. Okay, so we've discussed pandemic, we have discussed epidemic, we have discussed Panacea, we have discussed a placebo, we have discussed endemic. Now let's go on and discuss something which I actually did not want to start with. Which is posthumous. Posthumous means the definition given there is a child born, but actually it refers to anything which occurs or something which is occurring, awarded, or appearing after the death of a person. Okay, it's not just a book which is published. It could also be an award. Like for example, he got the Param Veer Chakra award posthumously. That means he got the award after his death. So posthumous means getting something occurring, or something which is awarded, or something which is appearing after the death of a person. That is posthumous. Okay, let's go on. Next is amnesty. I'm sure you know that, a general pardon that is given to a lot of people. Okay. Biography, autobiography, you're all familiar with this. No big deal about that. There we have the thing that we discussed the other day. Credulous. I already told you about that. A credulous person, a person who easily believes what is told to him, is a credulous person. We discussed that. People who are prone to scams because they are gullible. Gullible is another word. Gullible means people who can easily be tricked. Gullible. G-U-L-L-I-B-L-E. Gullible people. People who believe anything, who can be tricked easily. Gullible. Okay. Next is fastidious. Fastidious person. A fastidious person is a person who's got very high standards and very difficult to please. Okay. So he's very attentive to and concerned about, even minor details and accuracy. So it is very difficult to please a fastidious person. If you have a fastidious boss, then your life is going to be miserable, because he's going to pinpoint each and every small mistake that you do. So a fastidious person is a person who's got very high standards and a person who is therefore hard to please. Next is a stoic. Who is stoic? A person who is indifferent to pleasure and pain. Pleasure or pain. A person who is indifferent to pleasure or pain is stoic. Okay, so that is stoic. That is straightforward. Callous. A person who is insensible. I would say insensitive to kind thoughts or feelings. Callous. Or he feels no sympathy for others. Okay, showing insensitive disregard for others. That is the meaning of the word callous. Callous is a person who is very, very insensitive, who doesn't show sympathy for others. So that is, in other words, he's a heartless person. Okay, a callous person is a heartless person. Next is avaricious. Who is avaricious? A person who is most inordinately desirous of money. What does that mean? A person who's extremely greedy for wealth. It needn't necessarily be a person. It could be a company. It could be government. For example, you can say this government is avaricious. It keeps on raising taxes to suck money from citizens. So you can use it that way also. It doesn't necessarily apply to a person. Avaricious could also be a company, could also be an organization, could be a government, who got extreme greed for wealth or money. Okay. Next is contemporary. Contemporary is a person who lives at the same time as the others, living or occurring at the same time. E.A.S. Prasanna, B.S. Chandrasekhar, Venkat Raghavan, Bishan Singh Bedi are all contemporaries. That they are eminent spinners in the Indian cricket team. They all played around the same time. They were contemporaries. A person who lives at the same time as the other, living or occurring at the same time. That is contemporary. Next is recluse. Recluse. Who is a recluse? A person who lives by himself. That means a person who is withdrawn. We're talking about recluse. A person who is withdrawn, secluded, tends to avoid others. So he is a recluse. Okay. Next is a spendthrift. Spendthrift, everybody knows. A person who spends his money recklessly. You also there is another term for this. I think we need to talk about that. Is a profligate. 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 Okay. Profligate, profligate. So profligate is similarly a spendthrift who's extravagant or makes wasteful use of resources. Like for example, a lot of people don't switch off their fans and ACs and TVs and things like that, even when they are not using. So what are they doing? They are profligate users of energy. All right, they're very profligate. Okay. Next is ascetic, a person who starves the body for the good of the soul. Now, ascetic is a person, not just that, a person who starves the body. That means, we are all familiar with this Rishi Muni in our history and folklore and mythology. So an ascetic person is a person who gives up material pleasure, who moves away from all these material pleasures and who is on a religious course. Need not necessarily be always religious, but he is away from, he abstains from normal pleasures. So he is an ascetic. Okay. Next, mercenary. Mercenary means anybody who does things for money, like mercenary soldiers, or having a mercenary attitude. Mercenary attitude means I will work only if I am given money, otherwise I will not. So he is a mercenary. There are a lot of mercenaries out there, people who are out there to make money. So whose only motive is to make money. So having a mercenary attitude means, do something only if there is money in it for you. Otherwise, don't touch it. So that is a mercenary attitude. Okay. Cache. Cache is a place where you store ammunition, where you store treasures, etc., etc. So that is a cache. Okay. A sanatorium is a place where you put people who got some disease, who require rest and recuperation. So that is a sanatorium. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at this one. Yes. Extempore. Extempore is very important. A speech made without preparation. That is on the spur of the moment. You just start speaking. Okay. So without any preparation, offhand, that is extempore. Okay. Then we will move on to versatile. Versatile means able to adapt. This is not adopt. There is a mistake there. There is adapt. A-D-A-P-T. Okay. That means adjust oneself, able to adapt oneself readily to many situations. Okay. Somebody who is multifaceted, multi-talented, or adaptable. So that is a person who is versatile. Okay. So he is competent in many things. That is being versatile. Congregation is in the news. We all know that there were some super spreaders in the country. All attended a congregation, okay, an assembly of worshippers. So that is a congregation, okay. Then an order, embargo, an order prohibiting ships to leave the ports. That's an embargo. It needn't necessarily be related to ships. Anything which is banned from going out. For example, Modi gave an order for embargo of quinine tablets. All right. And later Trump made a request to Modi, and India exported certain quinine tablets. But before that, there was an embargo. Embargo means a ban on moving things out. So that's an embargo. Okay. So then we have congenital. Now this is important. Congenital. Congenital means belonging to or pertaining to an individual from birth. Okay, anything like, for example, a congenital heart disease. That means he has this heart disease right from birth. So that is a congenital heart disease. Or it's also used in another context, existing as if it is inborn or inherent. Like, for example, there are certain people who are congenital liars. That means that is part of their character. All right. Lying, comes naturally to them. So that person is called a congenital liar. Why is he called a congenital liar? Because it exists, that lying habit exists as if it is inborn or inherent. So it is, so that is another way in which you use the word congenital. All right. Then we come to the word which is being used often today, quarantine. All right. Incidentally, it is quarantine, teen as in teenage. All right. Not quarantine. A lot of people, or even on TV news channels, are saying it is quarantine. It's not quarantine. It is quarantine. Teen as in teenagers. So you know what, you all know what a quarantine is. Earlier batches, I had to explain to them, and it used to be difficult for them to understand what quarantine is. But today you are seeing a whole lot of quarantines around yourself. Incidentally, in Nallakunta, we have this fever hospital, which is also called a quarantine dawakhana. Now, how did this quarantine come? Earlier in Nizam's time, this hospital, which was far away from the city, was used as a quarantine facility. Somebody has an infectious disease, and they used to put them in this quarantine, so-called quarantine dawakhana. So that it was at that time called quarantine. And over the years, it got corrupted, the name got corrupted, and it has taken the current avatar of quarantine dawakhana. So that is how quarantine is used in Hyderabad. Okay. Then we have anomaly. What is an anomaly? Anomaly is an abnormality. Okay. Anything which is strange or unusual, deviation from the common rules or standard. Okay. So that is what an anomaly is. Like for example, if you are a group of students who are all friends and who like to enjoy life, and there is a studious guy in your group. So he's an anomaly in your group. The others do time pass, and this fellow is a studious fellow. So he's an anomaly in your group, or vice versa. All right. So that is how you use anomaly. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Notorious. Notorious means having an evil reputation. You all know what famous is, but notorious means being famous for the wrong reasons. A notorious thief, a notorious criminal. All right. Having an evil reputation. That is the meaning of the word notorious. Okay. Retaliate. You know what retaliate is? Giving tit for tat. Somebody does something to you, you go back and take your revenge. So giving tit for tat, that is retaliate. Okay. Then you have a whole lot of these things starting with IN, incredible, inaudible, insurmountable. I'm sure you know all of these things. Imperceptible, something which you cannot perceive. Something which you cannot perceive means understand, see, touch, etc. Imperceptible. Okay. Then we also have what we discussed the other day, which is infallible. We discussed this the other day. Incapable of being of making a mistake. Impregnable. Impregnable means incapable of being forcing a surrender. I mean, you cannot take over. He's saying force of arms, not necessarily by force of arms, by force. You can't make that particular area surrender. So incapable of being taken over by force. So that is called impregnable. Impregnable fort. Okay. Then you have brittle. Brittle means something which can be easily broken. So that is brittle. Sometimes, you know, when with advanced age, the bones become brittle, and that is when, you know, the people who are aged normally suffer fractures. Why? Because the bones have become brittle. Okay. Amnesia. Amnesia, we are all familiar. Those of the people who are familiar with Indian movies, who watch Indian movies, see amnesia often. Loss of memory. Okay. Loss of memory. That's called amnesia. Okay. Let's move on. Let's look at this. A novice, tyro, or a neophyte is a person one new to anything. So somebody who's inexperienced, somebody who is a beginner. All right. He's called a novice. or a tyro or a neophyte? Can somebody give me an antonym of novice? Can somebody give me an antonym? Please reply in your chat. Somebody give me an antonym for novice. An antonym. Now, novice means somebody who's started just now, a beginner who's new. Okay. Yes, Shreya says experienced. That's a good answer. Expert. That is also Lakshmi Priya says expert. Yes, perhaps expert. All right. Any others? Okay. Down below we have another. Yes, Aditi has got it. Veteran. Down below we have that. We will come to that also. Okay. We will look at that. Apostate. One who abandons his religious faith. Needn't necessarily be religious faith. It could also be political beliefs. A turncoat. He's a turncoat. That means who just abandons his religious faith. He just gives up, takes another religion, or he just gives up his religious faith, or he gives up his political belief. Till yesterday he was in Congress and today he becomes a member of BJP. Apostate. All right. Apostate. So that is the meaning of the word apostate. Okay, next one is chaperone. A chaperone is a person who accompanies, it says a lady. Okay, now there is a generic, I mean that is how it was used earlier because there was a feeling that ladies need to be protected and who somebody needs to accompany them to public places to take care of their protection. Today, this is used more broadly. So a chaperone is a person who accompanies another person to take care of his well-being, etc. So that is a chaperone. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. Altruist. One who devotes his life to the welfare and interests of other people. He's an altruist. Okay. There are a whole lot of altruists today who are helping people who are affected by the lockdown. Philanthropist, person who donates generously. Okay, he's a philanthropist. We discussed the cannibal the other day, a person who eats human flesh. Predecessors also we discussed the other day. Now veteran, this was what I was looking at. Aditi gave this as an antonym for novice. So one who has grown old or who's got long experience in some service or occupation. Okay, so he's a veteran. Veteran means experienced. And obviously the antonym is a novice, tyro, neophyte, beginner, etc., etc. All of these things are antonyms of veteran. Okay, next is misogynist. This one. Okay, note the pronunciation. Misogynist. One who is a hater of women. Misogynist. We see several of them in our country and elsewhere too. Okay, a misogynist is a person who hates women. Okay, let's go on. Skeptic. One who questions facts. One who doubts. Keeps on doubting everything. He's a skeptic. One who is given to questioning of facts and the soundness of inferences. Okay, a person who is doubtful all the time. So he is a skeptic. Let's move on. Is that fast? Is the pace okay, or should I slow down? Can you answer please on the chat? Should I slow down or is that pace all right? Pace all right. Okay, good. Let's move on. Omniscient. Who is omniscient? A person who knows everything. Omniscient is a person who knows everything. Omniscient. Omniscient. So when we're talking about omniscient, we also have to talk about omnipotent. Omnipotent. All-powerful. Who is very, very powerful. Omnipotent. Rajnikant is often portrayed as omnipotent in most of his movies. All powerful. Okay. Similarly, we have omnipresent. Omnipresent. Omnipresent means present everywhere. Omnipresent. There's another English word for omnipresent. It is called ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. Please note this, very important word. Ubiquitous. Smartphones are ubiquitous today. And that is one of the reasons why we are able to run these online classes. If they were not so ubiquitous, we wouldn't have ventured into online classes, because everybody now has a smartphone at home, not just one smartphone, multiple smartphones. We are able to run these online classes because you can access through a smartphone. So smartphones are ubiquitous today. All right. So that's the meaning of omnipresent and ubiquitous. Okay, let's go on. Okay, pedant. A pedant. One who makes a display of his learning. See, there are certain people who have a lot of bookish knowledge and try to show off this bookish knowledge. He is a pedant. Some teachers are, I would say most teachers, some teachers are pedant. Like you would have seen in your own classes, a teacher asks a question and there would be one fellow who would have read the entire book the previous day and tries to show off his bookish knowledge and gives an answer. He's a pedant. One example that I can think of is in the movie Three Idiots. There is that fellow, Chatur. He's also called, his nickname is Silencer. Okay, that fellow is a perfect example of a pedant if you've seen the movie Three Idiots. Okay, let's move on. Amateur. Amateur is one who plays a game for pleasure and not professionally. Amateur is anybody who does things for pleasure and not for money. Okay, amateur is also used for somebody who is new or somebody without skill. Okay, so this is one meaning. The other meaning is somebody who is without skill or somebody who is new. So you can also say that this is an antonym for veteran. Amateur, veteran. Also, amateur, the other way, the antonym is professional. Somebody who plays a game for pleasure. There are a lot of people who don't play professional tennis, for example. They just play tennis for the pleasure of it. So they play it as amateurs. They don't play it for money. But certain people turn professional and make that as a living and make money. So he's called a professional. So that is one meaning of the word amateur. Amateur also means somebody who is new and somebody without skill. Okay, let's go on to the next one. One who pretends to be what he is not. I wouldn't say hypocrite is appropriate. We'll come to hypocrite, but this perfect word for one who pretends to be what he is not is an impostor. The spelling is wrong. It is imposter. Make that correction in your material. A impostor is a person who impersonates. He's a trickster. Like, for example, quite often we see in the news that somebody goes on and poses as an IPS officer or secretary of some minister and try to get certain things done. So what is he doing? What is he actually? He's an imposter. He's impersonating. He's a trickster. Okay. Now, a hypocrite, on the other hand, is a person who does not believe what he says. He says something and his behavior is totally different. For example, a lot of people talk about environment, etc., etc. We need to protect environment, etc., etc. And these are the very people who abuse the environment. For example, he goes out and litters, he throws rubbish on the way, etc., etc. So hypocrite is a person who talks something but doesn't believe in it, and it just acts opposite to what he preaches. He preaches something, he practices something else. So he's a hypocrite. Impostor has got a slightly different meaning. I hope you've got the difference between a hypocrite and a impostor. Okay, alien is a foreigner. Alien is a one who resides in a country of which he is not a citizen, a foreigner. Okay, he's an alien. Next is a cynic. Cynic is a person who believes that all people are selfish. Okay, and this guy is habitually negative. He doesn't even look at the positive side, but he's not a pessimist. I mean, there's a slight difference from being a pessimist. He keeps doubting everybody. Okay, he feels that everybody does things out of greed or out of their selfish interest. He doesn't think that, like there are a lot of cynics who are questioning the lockdown imposed by Modi. Why? They are cynics. They feel anything which is done, they feel that there is a motive associated with it. Nobody does things without self-interest. That is what they feel. So cynic is a person who constantly doubts his fellow men, and he thinks that they are they're motivated to act out of their own self-interest. So he is a cynic. Sure, let's go on. You know, anonymous, the letter which is unknown, which is of unknown or unadmitted authorship. You don't know who the author is or who sent a letter. You call it anonymous. So that is how things are. Okay, let's go on. Illicit means something which is illegal, something which is prohibited by law is illicit. Obsolete. Obsolete means something which is no longer in use, something which is old-fashioned, something which is old, something which is ancient, archaic, antique. All of these things are synonyms of obsolete. Can somebody give me an antonym of obsolete? Can somebody give me an antonym of obsolete? Please type in your chat. Antonym of the word obsolete. Obsolete means old, all right? Ancient, outdated. So can you give me an antonym of the word obsolete? Currently in use, that's a phrase. Modern, that's right. Aditi is right. It is modern. Modern is the antonym of the word obsolete. That's right. Okay, let's go on. Okay, let's look at this. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. What is blasphemy? That means when you talk without respect about sacred things, then what you're indulging in is blasphemy. Okay. In countries like Pakistan, there are very strict blasphemy laws. Like if you say something wrong about Islam or Quran or whatever, the law is such that you will be put in prison and action will be taken against you. So what are they indulging in there? They are talking inappropriately, impiously about something which is considered sacred. So blasphemy is talking about things which are considered sacred, talking impiously about them. So that is a blasphemy. Espionage. Espionage is simply spying. So espionage is nothing but spying. Okay, let's go on. Let's look at legacy. What is legacy? The property left to someone by a will. So that is legacy. So legally speaking, if suppose some person has a lot of property, he gives it as by will to his family, grandchildren, children, etc., etc. So this is called his legacy. Also, legacy means something which is anything handed down from the past. Like for example, the IITs are the legacy of Jawaharlal Nehru. So Jawaharlal Nehru has created the IITs and left them for the Indians to benefit from. So it is his legacy. So that is how legacy can be used. Okay. Expatriate. Okay, sorry. Expatriate. Now, expatriate means to banish from one's own country. Voluntary, things which are done on your own free will. That means nobody is forcing you to do things. You are doing things on your own. That is called voluntary. Like for example, in this lockdown period, there are so many people who are providing voluntary service. They go into the hospitals, they're cleaning the hospitals, they're preparing food, and they are delivering the food to people who are in need. So this is voluntary. Nobody's asked them to do it. They are doing it on their own free will. That is called voluntary. Okay, let's move on. Next is Analyte. Analyte. So what is Analyte? To completely destroy something. So that is Analyte. Okay, so that is the meaning of the word Analyte. Now let's go on. Abrogate. We are familiar with abrogate. Recently, Article 370 was abrogated. What is the meaning of the word abrogated? Abolish, annul, repeal. All of these things. Annul also means the same, similar, I would say. Annul, repeal. Okay, so means the same. To do away with a rule. That means to put it aside or put an end to. That is the meaning of the word abrogate. Okay, let's go on. Next is to increase. This is 2, by the way. TO2. Okay, to increase the gravity of aggravate. So what is aggravate? Aggravate means to increase the gravity of an offense or the intensity of a dispute. It also means to make things worse or to make things severe. Like, for example, to aggravate an illness. Okay, so that is the meaning of the word aggravate. So make it worse or make it severe. That is aggravate. Can somebody give me the antonym for aggravate? Can somebody give me antonym of the word aggravate? Yeah? Can you try? Please try. Aggravate. Aggravate is mild. See, aggravate is a verb. All right. So you need to find a verb. Mild is not a verb. It's an adjective. Calm is an adjective. Aggravate is a verb. All right. So let me give you an appropriate. Aggravate is the antonym is said to lessen. Aggravate is to increase the pain. Lessen is to reduce. But I will give you a better word. It's called alleviate. Please remember this. This is also an important word. Alleviate. Alleviate is just the opposite of aggravate. Alleviate pain, for example, or alleviate suffering. What it means is lessening things. Also, a similar word is mitigate. If you read the newspapers now, you will also come across this word often. Mitigate, mitigate. Mitigate means to lessen something. Like, for example, COVID patients, there is no cure. So what do? You mitigate their suffering by giving symptomatic treatment. He's got some symptoms. You give him medicines which will reduce those symptoms. He's coughing. So give him a medicine which will reduce the cough. Okay. He's not able to breathe. So give him something which will allow him to. So it mitigates the suffering. That means it reduces. So that is how mitigate is used. So alleviate, mitigate, same family. Antonyms of aggravate. All are important words. Next is attenuate. Attenuate is to reduce the strength of something. Okay, of a signal, for example. Attenuate. Attenuate, obviously, the antonym we are talking about is strengthen. Okay. Next, coerce. Coerce is to force somebody to do certain things or impel a person by force. That is coerce. Okay. Then finally, we are coming to the last here, sacrilege. Sacrilege is violating religious things. Like, for example, Gandhi is held in high esteem in India. Okay, he is a revered figure. So if you say something against Gandhi, something bad against Gandhi in India, you are actually committing a sacrilege. So it needn't necessarily refer to only religious things. Anything which is an intentional disrespect or intentional disrespectful treatment of a person, a place, a thing, a high idea, anything which is held sacred by people. If you do this, then what you're committing is sacrilege. Okay, so that is what you have to keep in mind. That is the meaning of the word sacrilege. So we will start doing this exercise now. So what we will do is, please do the first 5 now. I'll give you 15-20 seconds. Just look at those 5 options and try to answer them. Okay, please do those first 5 now. I'll ask for your answers and everybody has to answer. not just one or two. I'm just getting answers from Lakshmi Priya, Aditi, Shreya, etc., etc. I want everybody to answer. Five minutes. So no, not 5 minutes. 30 seconds. Abhinaya, you said epis in the earlier one. I missed that. Epis is not appropriate here. Epis is to make somebody calm, all right, or less angry. That is what epis means. Okay, so it is not the same as lessening pain. Epis is different. What we're talking about is alleviate, lessen, mitigate. So I hope you got the meaning. So there are a lot of people who are giving me answers. Let's see. First one. Everybody has done the first five? Everybody has done the first five? I want others also to participate, not just a handful of people. I want to see the answers. Not just a handful of people. I want everybody to answer. I've got answers from Abhinaya. I've got answers from Harshit. I've got answers from Srinivas Reddy. I've got answers from Aditi. Yeah. Same Bhagirath Reddy, Lakshmi Priya, S. Shreya, Harshita, Shreya, Lakshmi Priya, Aditi, same people. Again and again. Okay, Kiranmai, new name. Sudhanshu, new name. Good, good. I want more people. More people to answer. Just try it. You may not be right, but we will discuss that. Kaushik, that's the only way to learn, by making mistakes. So it needn't always be right. Okay, and English is a language where you can never say that you have mastered it. There is always a new word to learn. Nikhila, good. Very nice. Nikhila has answered. I want others also to answer. First five only. Okay, I think I've given sufficient time. Let's start discussing this. Okay, habitually silent or talking little. Okay, the first option is servile. Could somebody tell me what is the meaning of the word servile? Servile? Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of the word servile? Servile. Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of the word servile? Sticker? No, not sticker. Servile. Servile is an adjective. Servile. Servile means somebody who is very obedient. Servile is a person very obedient. He's a servile person. Slavish in another way. Very obedient. Okay. Servile. Unequivocal. That is B. We're talking about this one. Unequivocal. We looked at survival. We are looking at unequivocal. What is unequivocal? Can somebody tell me what unequivocal is? Yeah. Anybody can say, tell me what unequivocal is? And just take a guess. equivocal. Vocal, I mean, let us do some smart guessing here. Vocal means we know the meaning of the word vocal. Vocal means talking. All right. Equivocal means what? Equivocal, talking on both sides. That is equivocal. Equivocate. Equivocate means actually not taking a stance, talking on both sides. Unequivocal means very clear. There is no misunderstanding. That is unequivocal. The Prime Minister has unequivocally condemned the attitude of the opposition. So that means in firm terms, clear, no misunderstanding. That is unequivocal. Then you have the word taciturn, habitually silent or talking little. A lot of people have given this answer. Okay, taciturn, that is what it is. Taciturn. Remember this word, taciturn, T-A-C-I-T-U-R-N, taciturn, habitually silent or talking little. Another related word is reticent. Similar, not same, but reticent. They belong to the same family. Reticent. What is the opposite of taciturn? Can somebody give me the opposite of taciturn, antonym of taciturn? That is simple, straightforward. You can tell me. Antonym of taciturn. Taciturn means talking little or not talking at all. Habitually silent. Oh yeah, talkative. That is plain and simple, talkative. But there's another word called, okay, loquacious. Loquacious. Remember this. This is also an important word. Loquacious means a person who talks a lot. Loquacious. Okay, remember that. Loquacious. L-O-Q-U-A-C-I-O-U-S. That is loquacious. All right. This is a antonym of taciturn. Then you have synoptic. Synoptic is a totally unrelated. It's not an important word. Synoptic, actually, you know, synopsis. Synopsis means of general points. Synoptic is the adjective form, means taking a general view of things, not getting into specifics. That is called synoptic. Anyway, don't worry. That's not a important word. Religious discourse. What is the answer? Let me see your answers. What have you given? Oh, somebody said A. Kaushik said A. To B. Somebody said stanza. Somebody said to C. Sanctorum. My God. No way. Somebody said, okay. C. Lakshmi Priya said sanctorum. Oh no. To B. To D. Somebody said, Abhinaya said to D. That's right. Sermon. A religious discourse is a sermon. Okay. You go to a church and the priest gives a sermon, what is known as a sermon, which is actually a discourse, a religious discourse. Please understand that you have to answer smartly. Preach, if you see, is a verb. Yes or no? It's a verb. It's an action item. It's preach. All right. Noun form is preaching. When you're talking about religious discourse, you're searching for a noun. You're not searching for a verb. Please remember that. So preach cannot be an answer at all. So answer smartly. The parts of speech has to match. All right. So a religious discourse is a noun. So you should search for a noun. So sermon. What is a sanctorum? Sanctorum is the holiest in a temple. Okay. So is a holiest part of a temple, that is of a religious place. That is a sanctorum. Stanza is, part of a poem. That's a stanza. Okay, nothing to do with a religious discourse. Let's go on. 3. A place that provides refuge. Somebody has said D. Somebody has said A. Somebody has said C, shelter. No way. Okay. D, etc., 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 etc. Okay, so people have got it right. A place that provides refuge is an asylum. Asylum is a place that provides the refuge to people. Okay. A sanatorium we've already discussed. You've got a disease, then you require a long period of for recovering. Then you are put into a sanatorium, a TB sanatorium, for example. Okay. Shelter is a place where, I mean, shelter is a more general term. A place which houses people. So that's a shelter. Orphanage has got a very specific connotation. It's a place where orphans are taken care of. Okay, next is fourth. Fourth, let us see the answers. Fourth answers, let us see. Fourth, somebody says A. Detailed plan of a journey. Is that A? Let's see what others say. Okay, somebody has said D. Not bad. 4A, Shreya says A. 4D, Kiranmai says D. That's good. Kaushik says D. That's good. So, a detailed plan of a journey is an itinerary. Itinerary means it gives a detailed plan. On this particular day, you will be in Paris. On this particular day, you will be in Rome. On this particular day, you will be in London. Of course, all those places are places where you can't go today. But okay, so itinerary is a detailed list of detailed plan of a journey. Okay, schedule, you know, very simple what it means. It's got nothing to do with a journey. It's a list of items as per time, where you list out items which need to be taken up at each point of time. Okay, a travelogue, on the other hand, is somebody writing about their experiences in traveling. So that's a travelogue. Okay, you go to say Goa and you write about your visit there. That becomes a travelogue about Goa. Okay, it's got nothing to do with a plan, or it's not a plan of a journey. Next, a person who insists on something. Let's look at the answers. 5B, sticker. A person who insists on. Actually, it should be, sorry, my mistake. It should be stickler. S-T-I-C-K-L-E-R. So the spelling is wrong. It should be stickler. It's not sticker. Sticker, you know what it is. So stickler, S-T-I-C-K-E-L-E-R, and that's the answer. A person who insists on something is a stickler for punctuality. I am a stickler for punctuality. I expect all students to come on time. Stickler, all right? So a person who insists on something. So that is the meaning of the word stickler. Okay, let's go on and let's do 6th to 10th now. Please do 6th to 10th now. Let's do the 6th one now. Give me the answer for the 6th one. 6th one. A large dark gray cloud that brings rain or snow. Yes, everybody has got it right. Answer is nimbus. All right. Now, what's a blizzard? What's a blizzard? Can somebody tell me what a blizzard is? Blizzard. What's a blizzard? Everybody has got A right, nimbus. Blizzard. What's a blizzard? Blizzard is a snowstorm. All right. Blizzard is a severe snowstorm. Also, anything where you get a large amount of things all at once. Like, for example, you fall sick and there is a blizzard of get well cards that you get. Okay. So that's blizzard. Something, a large amount of things, they come at in a limited period of time. You call it a blizzard. Okay. Hail. Hail is pellets of rain. Okay. Vadagallu in Telugu. Hail. That's hail. Fog, you know, an opaque mass of particles in air caused either because of the weather conditions or because of environmental conditions. So because of pollution, etc. An opaque mass of particles in air. So fog also means, you know, things in your mind, you know, like for example, coffee helped clear the fog in my brain, okay? Something which is mass that is there, some confusion which is there in your brain. That's also called fog. Next, seventh one, a large pillar made from one stone. Answer. A large pillar made from one stone. Yes. Kaveri has got it right. Shreya has got it right. Harshita has got it right. Abhinaya has got it right. Srinivas Reddy does not see. A large pillar, it's a monolith. Mono means single. Monolith, a large pillar made, made from one single stone. So that is. Now what's a bulwark? What's a bulwark? Could somebody tell me what a bulwark is? Can somebody tell me what a bulwark is? Bulwark is a defensive wall. Bulwark is a defensive wall. Okay, like you have a fort and you have a whole lot of bulwarks, and what do you have? You have them for the protection of the fort. Okay, so it's a protective or a defensive wall. A situation that exists at a particular time without any changes being made to it. Bhagirath has already answered that. Anybody else? Anybody else? Eighth question. Anybody else? Abhinaya has answered it. Great. Good. Shreya has answered it. Kaushik, it is not stagnation. Stagnation means what? Lack of activity or lack of growth. That is stagnation. Lack of activity. Water doesn't flow. Then you say water stagnates at a particular place. So that is stagnation. Okay. So it is not. Snehasriya has also said stagnation. That's not the answer. Somebody said C. Corrigendum is a correction. Suppose you put up a document and there are mistakes in the document. Then what you do is you come up with a corrigendum. What it does is it corrects the errors in the document. That is a corrigendum. So stagnation is not the answer. Corrigendum is not the answer. And what are we left with? Status quo. Status quo. That means leave things as it is without any changes. That is called status quo. Several times in a dispute, when people go to the court, first thing it does is, because the court takes a lot of time to arbitrate, to come up with a judgment. So what the court will first do is give a status quo order. That means let things lie as they are today in the current situation. So no changes to be made after today. So status quo means a situation that exists at a particular time without any changes being made to it. That is status quo. Now you have another word called laissez-faire. Now what is laissez-faire? Laissez-faire means it's an economic term. What it means is no interference in free market. That means the government doesn't interfere and let the markets operate. In certain cases, government, for example, drugs in India, the drug prices are controlled by the government. That is not a laissez-faire market. In certain other areas, the government doesn't interfere at all. That is a laissez-faire market. That means you don't interfere in things. It's a free market. It is laissez-faire. Okay, let's go on. Official misconduct, ninth one. Can somebody give me the answer for the ninth one? Okay, a lot of people are giving. Oppo 7. Oppo A7, whoever it is, first time answered. Congratulations. Good. Somebody said D. Official misconduct is not maladministration. Maladministration is bad. Mal means what? Mal is bad. Okay. Maladministration is bad administration. Misgovernance, but it is not misconduct. Misconduct means, perhaps, corruption or not doing things properly. So that is official misconduct. So the correct answer is malfeasance. This is the correct answer. Malfeasance is the correct answer. It is official misconduct. Okay, let's go on. One who has got a compulsive desire to steal. 10th one, answer. Srinivas Reddy has got it. Shreya says C. No, madam. Abhinaya has answered. Lakshmi Priya has answered. Who else? Sudhanshu has answered. Kaushik has answered. Bhagirath Reddy has got it wrong. Okay. We will see. Anybody else? One who has a compulsive desire to steal. There are some people. Yes, Snehasriya has answered it. That's good. Anybody else? There are some people who don't need the money, but who by habit, steal things. This fellow goes to a hotel and steals the cutlery. Or he stays in a room and he steals the soaps and whatever is given in the hotel free of charge. He puts them in his pocket and goes away. Kleptomaniac. Okay. He's a compulsive desire to steal. He's a kleptomaniac. Okay. Now let's look at each one of the other ones, because all of them are important. Because all of them also do some kind of stealing, but not because of a compulsive desire. It's not a habit. It's not habitual. Okay, kleptomaniac is actually, this itself indicates mania, that itself indicates, kind of a disease. Okay, pilferer. Pilferer means a guy who steals in small quantities. Like for example, these oil tankers, before they come into the city, they stay on the outskirts for some time. So a lot of guys go and pilfer in small bottles, etc., etc. So they steal from the oil tankers. They are called pilferers. Pilferers means stealing in small quantities. Poacher, poach. Poach means what? To hunt or steal animals illegally. That is poaching. So a lot of in India, for example, wildlife hunting is illegal. But what does this fellow do? He goes illegally, goes and steals or kills, for example, he hunts. So he is a poacher. Poaching also refers to taking without permission, taking something without permission. For example, poaching ideas. So you steal ideas from somebody else without that person's approval. A lot of Indian filmmakers, script writers often poach ideas from foreign films. Okay, that is poaching. Similarly, poaching staff, when there are, say, two companies in a very competitive industry, this fellow requires, one company requires staff. So what he does is, instead of going and recruiting and training, which takes a lot of time, the simplest thing is go to the other company, try to steal some people, pay them some higher salary and make them join your company. That is poaching staff. So that is the meaning of the word poaching. So poaching is not right. Pilfering is not right. Plagiarist. A plagiarist, we've already discussed, copying, stealing ideas. Okay, a plagiarist, plagiarizing, from books, music, all of these things are plagiarizing. But here the question is very specific: compulsive desire to steal things. So that's a kleptomaniac. Next, 11th one. Let's see the answers. Somebody have already answered this question. Oh, Nikhila has answered it. Lakshmi Priya has answered it, but wrong. Lakshmi Priya has got it wrong. Zoom, whoever it is. Lakshmi Priya has got it right. Sorry. Oh no, she's got it wrong. Harshita has got it right. Snehasriya has got it right. Abhinaya has got it wrong. Kaveri has got it right. Okay. Oppo A7, whoever that is, got it wrong. B. So, okay, let's look at this. A person who renounces the world and practices self-discipline in order to attain salvation. So, he is an ascetic. Okay. So, what does he do? He leads a very austere or simple life. He abstains from material pleasures. He is an ascetic. Our Rishi Muni, Rishi Muni that we have read about in our mythology, they're all ascetics. Who is a skeptic? Skeptic is a person who is doubtful. He doubts everything. Skeptic is a person who doubts everything. Okay, so please remember that. Skeptic is a person, skeptical means doubtful. Skeptic is a person who doubts things. Antiquarian is a person or relating to or dealing with antiques or old books, etc., etc. So that is an antiquarian. Okay, 12th question. We've taken a lot of time today. 12th question. A person who does not believe in the existence of God. Okay, a lot of people have got it right. Atheist. That's right. A person who does not believe in the existence of God is an atheist. Okay, who is a fanatic? Okay, atheist is right. All right. That's a simple answer. Primary school English. Anybody can answer that. Fanatic. Who is a fanatic? Who is a fanatic? Could somebody tell who a fanatic is? A person who's got excessive zeal for religion, for a political cause, etc., etc. Religious fanatic, for example, who's got excessive zeal, excessive interest, passion for things. It is excessive. That is a fanatic. Okay. Heretic is one who believes or teaches what is against accepted beliefs. So something which is held something which we all accept. Heretic is a person who opposes those things, who preaches against those things. He is a heretic. Okay, let's go on. A government by the nobles. Answer. A government by the nobles. Yes, you got it right. Aristocracy is a government by nobles. Autocracy is governed by one person. By one person. A dictator. Autocracy. Bureaucracy. What is bureaucracy? A government by the officials. Officials actually call the shots. So bureaucracy is that. Bureaucracy is administration by officials. Let's move on. Teetotaler. 14th question. Teetotaler. What's the answer? Bhagirath Reddy has answered. One who abstains from taking wine. Liquor. Not just wine. Liquor. Because of the lockdown, a lot of people have become teetotalers today. Okay, for the last 3 weeks, because liquor is not available. So let's go on. 15th question. The part of a government which is concerned with making of rules. Rules means actually laws. Anybody can answer this? 15th one. 15th one. What's the answer? 15th D. That's right. Legislature. Legislature is the arm of the government. Yes. Legislature is the arm of the government which makes rules and laws. We have 3 arms of the government: legislature, executive, and the judiciary. All of these things, courts, tribunals, bars, are all legal. You know, courts, tribunal is a special kind of a court. Bar is a group of lawyers. Okay, that's a bar. Okay, let's go on. Policeman riding on motorcycle as guards to a VIP. That is very simple. Outriders, let's go on. To steal secretly in small quantities. We just discussed that now. We just discussed that now. To steal secretly in small quantities. What's the answer? Shreya has got it right. Shashank has got it right. So people who are awake, they've got it right. Harshita has got it right. Kiran Mai has got it right. Yes. Anybody else? To steal secretly in small quantities. We just discussed that now. Yes, anybody else? Please answer. Kaveri has got it right. Good. So to steal secretly in small quantities is pilferage. Okay. Now there's another word here, defalcation. Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of the word defalcation or defalcate? Defalcation means misappropriation of funds, embezzling things. Embezzle, that is also another good word. Embezzle. Something wrong with my pen. Embezzle. E-M-B-E-Z-Z-L-E. Embezzle. 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 Okay, so that is the defalcation. Let's go on. 18th question. 18th question. 18th question. Please give me the answers. Please give me the answer for 18th question. 18th question. 18th question, answer. Oh. Oh. 18th question answer. A person who tries to deceive people, by claiming to be able to do wonderful things is 18th, is a trickster. Obviously, that is simple, is a trickster. This is not impostor. It is E that needs to be corrected. IMPOSTER. Okay. Then you have mountebank. A mountebank is a person who deceives for money. Okay, don't worry too much about it. We already discussed impostor, who an impostor is. One who does not marry, especially as a religious obligation. 19th one. Please answer 19th one. Lakshmi Priya has answered it. 19th one, that is not right, Lakshmi Priya. 19th one. One who does not marry as a religious obligation. Yes, Harshita has got it right. Harshit Verma has got it right. Shreya, wrong Shreya. Can't be recluse. Recluse is a person who is disconnected from people, who's withdrawn from society, who stays away from people, who stays away from society. He's a recluse. Recluse is not a person who does not marry. Okay. The choice is between actually A and B. So celibate. Celibate is a person who does not marry out of a religious obligation. Okay. Bachelor also does not marry, but not because it is not because of his choice. He wants to get married perhaps, but perhaps he's not getting married for whatever reason. Okay. He's single, not as a choice. Whereas celibate is out of choice because of a religious obligation. Okay. Lakshmi Priya says, I answered that only, sir. Okay, madam, I accept what you said. Okay. 20th. A place for sick people who need long periods of treatment or rest. 20th. We've already answered this. What's the answer? 20th. Yes, Sashank. Yes, Harshita. Yes, Shreya. Everybody has got it right. Sanatorium. Belonging to the same country and having the same interests and feelings. 21st. Belonging to the same country and having the same interests and feelings. Anybody? 21st. 21st. Anybody? Nobody? 21st A. Patriot. Who is a patriot? Who loves his country? Belonging to the same country and having the same interests. Now go a little further than that, Bhagirath. Just go a little further than what you've answered. Kaushik. Yes, you got it right, Kaushik. Compatriot. Okay. Person who's got belongs to the same country, same interests and feelings. Comrade. Who's a comrade? A colleague or a fellow member, especially of the Communist Party. It is used by the communists. A person who eats too much. Who is a person who eats too much? Answer 22. Yes, Sudhanshu got it right. Sudhanshu. Srinivas has got it right. Harshita has got it right. Aditya has got it right. Shreya has got it right. Kaushik. Yes, everybody knows who the glutton is. A person who eats too much. All right. Who is a reveler? Reveler. Who is a reveler? This is an answer. Who is a reveler? A reveler is a person who enjoys in a lively and noisy way. For example, New Year revelers. Police will have to be deployed near Tangmand to control all these New Year revelers because they enjoy in a noisy way and they do all kinds of nonsense. So he is a reveler. An imaginary name assumed by an author of disguise. 23. What do you do? An imaginary name assumed by an author of disguise. Answer. Sneha Shreya, Shreyas, Harshit Verma, Harshita, Kiran Mai, Aditi, Shreya Reddy. Who else? Bhagirath Reddy. Okay. All right. You all got it right. But actually, let me tell you that a pseudonym is what I was looking for, an imaginary name. It's the actual technical term. Pen name is what we use colloquially. I mean, often we use pen name. All right, but actually it's a pseudonym. Even if you say pen name, I would give you the answer. So Sudhanshu has got it right. So pseudonym or pen name, both mean the same, but pseudonym is the actually apt response to this question. Okay, Let's move on. Likely to break apart easily. We've answered this today. Likely to break apart easily. What's the answer? 24th one. What is the answer? Yes, Harshit has got it right. Shreyas has got it right. Kiranmai has got it right. Harshita has got it right. Lakshmi, a lot of people have got it right. Brittle. Government by a priestly order. 25th question. Government by a priestly order. What's the answer? Government by a priestly order. 25th. I want the answer. A. No way. No way. No way. Kaushik has not answered it. Kaushik has answered it. Shashank has answered it. Oppo has got it wrong. Aditi got it right. Kiranmai has got it right. Okay. So a government by a priestly order is theocracy. For example, in Iran, you have some kind of a theocracy. The Ayatollahs have some kind of a control. I wouldn't say total theocracy, but yeah. So that is theocracy. Aristocracy, we've already discussed, government by the nobles. So this is not the answer, okay? Aristocracy is government by the nobles, okay? Autocracy is dictatorship, okay? So these are the exercises that we've done today. So we've done a whole lot of words today. I think we've done close to about 100 words. All of them are important words. So what you need to do is tomorrow and whatever is left of today, these 100 words, as I told you, take 15 minutes interval. Don't overdo English. 15 minutes just to refresh yourself after your maths or physics or chemistry. Take out 15 words and be thorough with them. So today and tomorrow, that is what you should do. We discussed a whole lot of very important words as far as BITSAT are concerned. What you need to do is just be familiar with the words that we've discussed, their meanings, etc., etc. Be familiar with them. So use today and tomorrow to be thorough with one-word substitutes. We will meet again day after tomorrow on 17th, where we will take up sequencing. All those who want material for sequencing, the usual stuff, you need to send an SMS to the number that I have given last time. Let me see if I have the number again. Some people have asked for it, but not everybody. Let me just give you the number. The number is 70938205595. You send a WhatsApp with hashtag bits material, and we will send the material across if you don't have the material. If you have the material, nothing like it. Okay, so that brings us to a close as far as this class is concerned. Meet you all day after tomorrow. Okay, right. Santosh, you can stop the class.